Obaseki, next time, reject the money. I am anxiously waiting for Godwin Obaseki, Edo governor, to recount his Freudian slip, and it must be a slip, a blooper, for it to make sense. Obaseki said the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, printed 50 to 60 billion naira for sharing at the March FAAC, Federation Account Allocation Committee. Don't get it twisted. I am not an Obaseki bassa, neither his enemy. In fact, I was won over to his side during his fiendish tiff with his former boss, Adams Oshomole, for the cruel and despicable manner Oshomole treated Obaseki. Many Nigerians, including his writer, stood on the side of the weak. Obaseki was the obvious weak compared to the political stature of Oshomole physically. Obaseki towers over Oshomole and could floor him in a physical combat, but size is nothing in politics and in the turf of political power. Adolf Hitler was no giant, a man of modest frame, yet he astounded the world with the luster of his draconian influence. Oshomole had attempted to disgrace Obaseki, but the gods said no way. A majority of Nigerians chorused the voice of the gods. I also joined in the chorus. Obaseki must not go down. He must not walk the path of shame for standing up to villainy, for a daring a political monster who showed no pity for the people and whose mien is a perplexing contempt for the poor. In Obaseki's political travails in the hands of Oshomole, many Nigerians saw the travails of the poor against the oligarchies. They saw the fasterings of injustice against a lone captive. Obaseki was a lone captive in the political prison of Oshomole. He was stripped by the khaki-wearing unionists and activists. But for the People Democratic Party, PDP, which rushed to the stage to cover his nakedness, Obaseki would still have been stranded in a heap, unveiled, uncovered, stark naked. Oshomole had decreed it, but Nigerians showed spunk. They rallied behind the former investment bank and saved his political career. At the end, the PDP profited from the wickedness of the Lord of the Manor. And for his triumph over a confederacy of evil machinations, you would expect Obaseki to be of good conduct, to align with the people, at least his people of Edo State, but he cuts a different picture. He humbles and wobbles. For over 5 months, he has conducted the affairs of his state without a cabinet. He holds meetings with himself. He initiates projects by himself and monitors them by himself. Lest we forget, Obaseki does not run a military administration. He is a democratically elected governor. Democracy does not run on the rotor of decrees and fiats. It runs on the slow but steady wheel of rule of law, checks and balance, meetings and deliberations. Democracy is a team game. The captain of the class, in this instance, the governor, needs a team of commissioners, special advisor, etc., to debate and deliberate on an issue. He needs people who could engage the larger public on his behalf. That is the strength and beauty of democracy. It does not strive on the goodness of one man. Democracy recognizes the imperfections of all men, hence does not lend itself to the caprice of one man, no matter how good, intellect or morally upright the man is. So our dear Obaseki caused a stir. He said that the federal government printed money for sharing. How aboriginal and archaic can a government get? In the contest, he said it, he made printing of money look like a crime, a fiscal fetish, and an abomination. He gave the impression that printing of money, naira, dollar, pound, sterling, yuan, etc., was an economic taboo only consigned to the prehistoric era. He is wrong. First, every country prints money, but not for sharing. At normal times, some nations has been known to print money, but these times are not normal. So more nations have printed money than we had at normal times. The world has been struck down by a coronavirus pandemic with lockdowns, shattered factories and offices, layoffs, furloughs staff, among other austerity measures. Almost all national economy has struggled to keep pace with development amid the pandemic. Truth be said, Nigeria printed money like other nations. It was done by the CBN as was done by central banks, reserve banks of other countries. It is not illegal. It is an economic decision meant to boost local production, enhance socio-economic activities, and ultimately keep the economy afloat. The governor of Central Bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, was clear on this. Nigeria printed money, but not for sharing. Nigeria printed money, but her in good company. The same club as United States, United Kingdom, China, South Africa, Japan, and the European Central Bank of Europe. It is a long list, and there is nothing to be ashamed about it. Last November, the Bank of England said it will print 150 billion pounds, that is 78.99 trillion naira, to boost the UK economy flattered by the pandemic. The printed money, the bank said, will be used to buy up a government debt just to keep borrowing costs low. The UK was among the worst hit nations by the pandemic. Also last year, China's monetary authority, the People's Bank of China, issued more than 8.98 trillion yuan, that is $1.36 trillion, the highest amount issued in 1 year. China did not print such huge sum to share, and Chinese political leaders did not erect monuments or beat the bugle to make it a subject of debate. In the midst of the pandemic, the United States of America, the European Central Bank, Japan, and emerging economies such as Turkey, Indonesia, and even South Africa all pretend or are pretend money to show up economic activities and reflate their economies. One of the duties of any reserve bank, central bank, is to print money. In Nigeria, this responsibility rests on CBN. When the CBN print money, it is only as a matter of responsibility, not an aberration. Obaseki, as an investment banker with academic odyssey in Nigerian and United States universities, knows this. Mounting the podium and giving printing of money by the appropriate statutory body a dubious coloration is not elegant, and it is far beneath the remit of a state governor, especially one who is supposedly vast in fiscal management. It is sad enough that the economy is deterring, but it gets worse when political leaders play politics with the management of the same economy. Rather than Vilifi Emefiele, Nigerians owe his man some respect. He has taken some tough decisions to defend the naira, restricting the importation of about 40 items by removing them from CBN Forex list is an unpopular decision among import merchants who profit from the nation's low or zero production of such items. It takes uncommon boldness to dare these powerful importers. Emefiele has put his life at risk on many counts for the sake of the nation. Obaseki should worry less about printing of currency. He should worry more about how to make Edo State self-sufficient. What happened to the latex industry from the vast rubber plantations? What is he doing in the agro sector where Edo used to show strength? Obaseki should develop Edo economy so he will be on good standing to reject the printed money next time. Well, to contribute to what is going on, I think this issue of printed money has generated a lot of reaction online, and the people has talked about it. And the government has denied that there was never a time that 50 to 60 billion naira was printed, that Obaseki's claim is baseless. So if it is like this, what could a common man do? So I will advise Obaseki of Edo State to make sure he develop the state where he governed over. Because talking at this time concerning this issue, I think it does not augur well. Because if you keep on talking and there is no positive response, then why wasting one's time? If you look, the economy of this country is really down. Before this government, came to power in 2015, $1 is equal to 175, but today $1 rated 500 naira and above. So the Nigerian economy is really down. What we are expecting this government to do is to boost the economy so that our naira will not be valueless. Thank you.